Once upon a time in a small, quaint town nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling lake, there lived a kind-hearted policeman who was known for his bravery and unwavering dedication to the community. But despite his courage in the face of danger, he had a secret. He was a bit of a klutz when it came to matters of the heart, especially when a cute woman was involved. One day, a new teacher arrived in town. She was not only beautiful, but also kind, clever, and very popular with the kids. From the moment she stepped into the classroom, her warmth and enthusiasm made her an instant hit. The policeman saw her and immediately felt butterflies in his stomach. He had to meet her. As fate would have it, he got his chance one afternoon when he was directing traffic near the school. As the bell rang, a flood of excited children poured out of the school gates and started crossing the street. Being the responsible officer he was, the policeman stepped in to help guide them safely across the road. That's when he first laid eyes on her. She was standing by the school gate, a half-smile on her face, watching the children with amusement. Mustering all his courage, the policeman walked towards her, hoping to strike up a conversation. Hi, he began, his voice betraying his nervousness. Just wanted to let you know that it's clear for crossing. The teacher looked up, her eyes twinkling with warmth. Thank you, officer, she replied, her voice like a melody to his ears. It's nice to see that everyone is thinking about safety round here. Their conversation was cut short by the arrival of a group of rowdy boys, who dashed across the street without looking. The policeman, ever the vigilant officer, quickly stopped them in their tracks. Hey, you almost made me run over your dog, he said playfully, earning a chorus of giggles from the children. In his haste to retrieve the runaway ball, the policeman stumbled, sending his hat flying through the air. It landed at the feet of the cute teacher, who picked it up and handed it back to him. With a teasing smile, "Need a hand?" she asked, her eyes sparkling with amusement. The children burst into giggles, making the policeman's cheeks burn with embarrassment. From that day forward, the policeman couldn't get the cute teacher out of his mind. He found himself driving past the school on the pretext of traffic duty whenever he got a chance. However, his attempts to impress her were often met with comical failures. During a school safety drill, he tried to show off his skills by rescuing imaginary victims from a mock disaster scenario. But his over-the-top performance left the students more confused than impressed. Determined to make a better impression, the policeman decided to bring her lunch one day. He meticulously packed a basket with goodies from the local bakery, but accidentally delivered it to the grumpy principal instead. When he finally got it to her, it was love at first bite. She was so grateful for his thoughtfulness, and though she appreciated the gesture, she gently told him that she wasn't expecting any romantic advances. The policeman was disheartened, but he was determined not to give up. He signed up for the school's annual talent show, surprising everyone, including himself, by performing a heartfelt song. Unfortunately, his lack of singing talent was painfully evident, and the performance ended with more pitying laughter than applause. Despite his best efforts, the policeman seemed to be making a bigger fool out of himself than winning her heart. But he wasn't the only one vying for the teacher's attention. A funny rivalry had started brewing among the town's eligible bachelors, each trying to outdo the other in their attempts to impress her. The town's firefighter, a tall, handsome man with a charming smile, took her on a ride in his fire truck, pretending it was a real emergency. Much to the delight of the children, the mayor's son, a wealthy, well-connected young man, showered her with expensive gifts, including a pair of diamond earrings that nearly caused a scandal. Yet none of these grand gestures fazed the teacher. She was drawn more to sincerity than to status or superficial displays of wealth and power. Meanwhile, the policeman continued to work hard, trying to win her affection through small acts of kindness and attentiveness. What they didn't realize was that they were being watched, not by the townspeople, but by the students. The children had formed their own little detective agency, and they had cracked the case of the policeman's unrequited love for the teacher. They knew they had to do something to help their favorite officer win her heart. Thus began Operation Match the Badge and the books. The students put their heads together, pooling their resources, which mostly consisted of glitter glue, construction paper, and an unlimited supply of imagination. They coached the policeman on what to say and how to act, complete with a series of charades and role-playing exercises. As for gifts, they suggested something thoughtful but not too expensive, like a bouquet of her favorite flowers or a donation to the school library in her name. Under their guidance, the policeman began to blossom. His awkwardness transformed into charm, his shyness into playful banter, and his determination to impress won her admiration. Then came the big test, the school's annual picnic. The entire town was invited, and it was a perfect opportunity for the policeman to make his move. Armed with a picnic basket filled with goodies, courtesy of Mrs. Periwinkle, the baker, he set out to find the teacher. The students, disguised as picnickers, followed him, their eyes shining with anticipation. Just as the policeman was about to approach her, disaster struck. The school's pet hamster, Mr. Nibbles, known for his daring escapades, bolted from his cage and was last seen darting under a nearby bush. Chaos ensued. Parents panicked, children cried, and the school caretaker fainted dead away. In the midst of the pandemonium, the teacher spotted the frightened hamster and, without hesitation, dropped everything to go after it. Seeing her in distress, the policeman didn't hesitate. He dropped his basket, pushed past the gawking townspeople, and raced after her. He found her in the park's rose garden, kneeling beside the overturned cage, whispering soothing words to the trembling animal. Without thinking twice, he rolled up his sleeves, got on his hands and knees, and joined her in the search. The students, realizing that this was their cue, jumped into action. They fanned out across the park, their earlier giggling replaced by focused determination. Within minutes, they had the entire park cordoned off and were systematically checking every hiding spot. Finally, Timmy, the class clown, spotted where Nibbles perched atop a garden gnome. With a triumphant yell, he scooped the hamster into his hands and returned him to the relieved teacher. As the crowd gathered, the policeman, covered in dirt and rose petals, stood awkwardly, unsure of what to do next. Then, as if realizing something, he walked up to the teacher, his eyes shining with admiration. "I'm sorry I didn't help sooner," he said sincerely. "I just wanted to be helpful, and I hope I didn't make a fool out of myself." The teacher looked at him, her eyes shining with gratitude. "You didn't make a fool out of yourself," she said softly. "You made a hero." The crowd, touched by their sincerity, burst into applause. In the ensuing celebration, the policeman and the teacher found themselves sitting together sipping coffee. They talked for hours, not about grand gestures or stolen kisses, but about books, dreams, and the quirky adventures of a school pet. By the end of the evening, the spark between them had ignited into something real, something that had been there all along, waiting for the right moment to catch fire. As the sun rose the next morning, the students gathered outside the school, their faces beaming with excitement. They had done it. Operation matched the badge, and the books was a success. The policeman was walking the children to school, his arm around the teacher's waist. Their hands intertwined, the kids, catching each other's eye, couldn't help but wink, sealing their little secret with a shared smile. And as they walked on, the sweet melody of children's laughter echoed through the streets, a soundtrack to a perfect beginning. Sometimes the strongest hearts wear badges.